Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Utirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 6, The Killing of the Demon Putana, Text 9. Tam Tikshna Chittam Ati Vama Cheshtitam Tam Tikshna Chittam Ati Vama Cheshtitam Vikshya Antara Kosha Parichada Asivat Vikshya Kosha Parichada Asivat Parastriyam Tat Prabhaya Cha Darshite Varastriyam Tat Prabhaya Cha Darshite Nirikshyamane Janani Hi Atishtatam Nirikshyamane Janani Hi Atishtatam Tam Tikshna Chittam Ativama Cheshtitam Vikshantara Kosha Parichadasivat Varastriyam Tat Prabhaya Cha Darshite Nirikshyamane Janani Hi Atishtatam. Tam, that Putana Rakshasi, Tikshna Chittam, having a very fierce heart for killing the child. Ativama Cheshtitam, although she was trying to treat the child better than a mother. Vikshya Antara, seeing her within the room. Kosha Parichada Asivat, like a sharp sword within a soft sheath. Varastriyam, the very beautiful woman. Tat Prabhaya, by her influence. Cha also darshite, being overwhelmed. Nirikshyamane, were seeing. Janani, the two mothers. He, indeed. Atishtatam, they remained silent without prohibiting. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Shri Vaisarana Arvind, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Putana, Rakshasi's heart was fierce and cruel, but she looked like a very affectionate mother. Thus, she resembled a very sharp sword in a soft sheath. Although seeing her within the room, Yashoda and Rohini, overwhelmed by her beauty, did not stop her, but remained silent because she treated the child like a mother. Please repeat the translation. Putana Rakshasi's heart was fierce and cruel, but she looked like a very affectionate mother. Thus she resembled a sharp sword in a soft sheath. Although seeing her within the room, Yashoda and Rohini, overwhelmed by her beauty, did not stop her, but remained silent because she treated the child like a mother. Purport. Although Putana was an outsider, and although she personified fierce death, because the determination within her heart was to kill the child, when she directly came and placed the child on her lap to offer the child her breast to suck, the mothers were so captivated by her beauty that they did not prohibit her. Sometimes a beautiful woman is dangerous because everyone being captivated by external beauty, Maya Mohita, is unable to understand what is in her mind. Those who are captivated by the beauty of the external energy are called Maya Mohita. Mohitam nabhijanati mamebhya param avyayam. Bhagavad Gita 7.13. Nate vidusvarta gatim hi vishnum durashaya ye bahirartha maninaha. Bhagavatam 7.5.31. Here, of course, the two mothers, Rohini and Yashoda, were not Maya Mohita, deluded by the external energy. But to develop the pastimes of the Lord, they were captivated by Yoga Maya. Such Maya Moha is the action of Yoga Maya. Thus ends the Bhaktivinoda purport and translation to Canto 10, Chapter 6, Text 9 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shukadeva Goswami is describing the character of Putana in this verse. How dangerous and deadly she was, but it was never detected. It went undetected. And therefore, a great danger awaited baby Krishna. So what is her nature, her character is being described here. Tam Tikshna. Tam referring to Putana, the demoness, or the Rakshasi. Tam, this Putana, Tikshna Chittam. Chittam is referring to her heart or mind or her consciousness. So Tikshna. Tikshna means very fierce, very harsh, very cruel. So Tikshna Chitta, Putana's heart, Tam Tikshna Chittam, her heart was fierce and cruel. But Ativama Cheshtita, she looked like a very affectionate mother. We say Vama Swabhava, that means very mild nature. Vama Swabhava. Elsewhere in Bhagavatam it is described. Vama Swabhava means very mild nature. So Vama Cheshtita means very fine, refined activities, personality, dealings. Actually, Ativama Cheshtitam refers to very nice dealing, very affectionate dealings. So her dealings was very affectionate, but her heart is fierce and cruel. Outright contradictory nature, you see. Therefore, Shukadeva Goswami is using the words Kosha Parichada Asivat. She resembled a sharp sword. Asivat. But Kosha Parichada, covered by a sheath. Suppose there's a nice cloth. You may think some gold is there. Sometimes, we see Bhagavatam, sometimes they cover with a nice silk cloth. It's not very prominent. They'll put a nice velvet covering or a nice silk cloth and then they will open. So you open, it's actually a Bhagavatam book. It's very nice. And sometimes gift also, even jewelry you might have seen, right? Covered in nice velvet cloth. But imagine if a nice velvet cloth, somebody opens thinking you're going to get a jewel and then he takes a sword and cuts off your head. You don't expect that, right? So therefore it can be dangerous. So here it's expressed, Kosha Parichada Asivat. She resembled a sharp sword in a soft sheath, like a velvet cloth or a silk cloth or a nice cloth, soft cloth. She appeared very affectionate, but she is brewing cruelness, fierce nature. She is culturing that. And she already has that. There's no culturing. Vikshya Antara, although she was seen within the room of Lord Krishna, Nirikshyamane, she was seen. Vikshya Antara Nirikshyamane, Janani, by the two mothers, Rohini and Devaki. She was observed, she was seen, she was spotted. Right within Krishna's room. To go to Krishna's room, that means she must have come inside the compound of Nanda. And then she must have gone, passing the hall, and then into Krishna's room. Baby Krishna. Where he was there. The inside room. Generally, in olden times, the place where the husband, wife, or the mother, father, the children, they stay will be inside. So there'll be a courtyard, then there'll be a common lobby area, then there'll be a living hall, then there'll be rooms for stay. Kitchen, they all will be generally backside. That means she has crossed all these different partitions and gone, and nobody has objected her entry into the house. Because Prabhupada says in the very first line of the purport, although Putana was an outsider, she was an outsider. How do you know she is an outsider? Because, of course, at least for the family members, it is very obvious that she is an outsider. And even before entering Nanda's house, she must have walked some streets and come. That means even the other gopis or gopas also must have seen her. And still she went undetected. Nanda, Yashoda and Rohini also saw. Nanda Maharaj saw. Still she went undetected. That means they saw she was there. There is one new person entering. But then they didn't doubt her character, her nature. That's why it is mentioned here. Vikshya antara nirikshyamane janani. Although seeing her within the room, especially Yashoda and Rohini, because mothers are very careful about their children and children's protection. Especially mothers are very alert, very careful. Still, it slipped their attention. Why? Why did they allow a stranger inside their house? And that too, they have gone straight into the baby's room, baby Krishna's room. And why did they allow that? That is described here. Varastriyam tat prabhaya cha darshite. Varastriyam darshite tat prabhaya. That means seeing her beauty. And darshite, overwhelmed by her beauty, tat prabhaya, and her influence, they did not stop her. That is addressed by the word atishtatham. They did not stop her. They remained silent. Because they thought that she has gone to treat their child as her child. Ativama cheshtitam. That means she came in the garb of a beautiful woman is fine, especially came in the garb of a affectionate mother. Affectionate mother. Therefore they didn't doubt. She was beautiful and she had the motherly feeling to feed Lord baby Krishna with her breast milk as much as Mother Yashoda and Rohini would have done and are doing daily. They thought, okay, our Krishna is so beautiful, so lovely that everybody is coming to greet baby Krishna. So they considered Putana also as one among those lovable visitors who was impressed by Krishna's beauty and Krishna's birth. But that is not the fact. She appeared like an affectionate mother, but her heart was fierce and cruel. Prabhupada says she was personified fierce death, who had the determination within her heart to kill this child. So that is why we have to keep in mind that we should not be carried away by external presentation or personality. We have to be very careful in understanding the person and person's nature and character. And not give away to his external, superficial dealings and treatment. That is why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, Putana represents pseudo guru. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has analyzed Krishna's Leelas and so many demons whom Krishna killed. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur has listed what each of those demons represent. They represent different anarthas, which may arise in oneself or which may be observed in others, and one should safeguard himself from these anarthas, or bad nature, bad character, bad habits. So he has given a big list. So in that he says that Putana represents pseudo guru. We'll understand that shortly. So that is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, so how do we detect or safeguard ourselves? He says, when we chant Hare Krishna, our mood of chanting must be, my Lord, I am thoroughly defeated. I admit my defeat in conquering Maya, in conquering my anarthas. I thoroughly admit my defeat. So, please give me the strength and seek the holy name's protection to free us from all the anarthas and contaminations and misgivings. So he says, one should cry to the Supreme Lord with all humility. So he says, the devotees who worship the holy name should first petition the Lord for the strength to cast out all these unfavorable tendencies, and should pray thus before Lord Hari on a daily basis. By doing this regularly, the devotee's heart will eventually become purified. Shri Krishna has killed a number of demons which may arise in the kingdom of the heart. Krishna is expert in killing demons, demon-like anarthas, demon-like misgivings, demon-like sinful tendencies, sinful desires. And we know Krishna is expert in killing demons. So, we have to call Krishna to kill these demons of material desires, of sinful tendencies, sinful desires, anarthas. And Krishna is Dina Dayal. He is a friend of the weak-minded. And the fact is, all conditioned souls are weak-minded. Nobody is strong-minded. People think he's got very strong mind. Nobody is strong in comparison to Maya's strength. And that Krishna has already declared in Bhagavad Gita. Daivi hi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Very clearly Krishna said, mama maya duratyaya. Because it is my external energy, nobody can overcome her powers, her strength, unless mam eva ye prapadyante, unless and otherwise. That is indicated by the word eva, unless and otherwise. Mam prapadyante. Mam eva ye prapadyante. Then mayam etam tarantite. It may be possible for you to free yourself from Maya by taking shelter of Krishna. And in Kali Yuga, the Lord has appeared in the form of His holy name, who may be immediately accessible. Krishna as deity, Krishna in many other forms are also accessible. But Krishna as a holy name is accessible anywhere and everywhere for us. Anywhere and everywhere for us. Instantly available. You can call out for Krishna's protection instantly. Just like they have created this app that somebody is going alone in the dead of night. They created an app, and then you use the facility from that app. Immediately the call, it'll alert the nearby police station, or sometimes we have these emergency contacts we have in our mobile. Is the favorite contacts and emergency contacts we have. So you can call them for safety. Sometimes even in this cab now they have brought this feature that you can send. Suppose you are traveling very late night, then you can send your travel by sending a link to your near and dear ones. Then they will actually know where you are at what point. Even if it is say 11:59 in dead of night, they will actually know you are traveling in this road. All that apps they have made, you see. Materially also they made so much. People always wonder how all these things are possible. Materially so many things people have figured out. How much supremely intelligent Krishna must be. When we have material support at a call, at one press of a button in our mobile today, what is the difficulty in having faith? See, unfortunately, we have to see material comparisons to have spiritual faith. This is our unfortunate condition. When we appreciate all these arrangements materially, okay, maybe possible. Then we'll think of the possibility, okay, there is some possibility. Still, that faith is better than no faith. But we should have what is called as transcendental faith on the holy name. Transcendental faith. That means no material logics and material convictions. You have to cross material convictions and material possibilities and material experiences. Because what is conviction materially? When you believe, you become convinced. When you experience, you become convinced. When it is convincing, you become convinced. What do you mean when it is convincing? When it's convincing means, it's convincing to your intellect or to your exposure and experience. Whatever is your experience in life, limited experience in life. But you have not experienced so many things in life. And you can observe so many things which are actually illogical. Just like you give grass and then the cow is giving milk. What is the logic you will put there? You take grain, rice, it becomes blood. What is the logic there? Like we say, Vedas also it is described. Cow dung, generally stool of an animal is impure. But cow dung is pure. Bone of an animal is impure. If you touch, you will take bath. In Vedic culture, there are so many things which you can't touch. That is why there was a concept of you should not touch the pujari. But people have the modern, communists and atheists, they have converted that statement as, untouchability. These people introduce untouchability. In one sense, it is untouchability at that point of time. Because somebody who is not clean, not taken bath, entered the temple, but as a pujari, you want to enter the altar and serve the Lord. The Lord is all pure. So you can't enter the Lord if you become impure. Therefore, it is actually not untouchability in the sense what is understood today. The keep them away, that is not the idea. The idea is somebody is not taken bath. Somebody is not even brushed his teeth. Then you should not, such person should not touch those who are shuchi or purified themselves to serve the Lord. That was the idea of untouchability. So therefore we say don't touch the pujari or the assistants who are the Sevites of the Lord. Because they have to keep themselves very, extremely clean, even externally, to be able to serve the Lord. That was the idea. So anyway, so we have to be very careful in all these dealings because the Lord is all pure. So coming back to the point, the Lord is immediately available for us by chanting of His holy name. Well, materially things are available immediately, spiritually 100% that possibility is there. So one should have what is called as transcendental faith. So I was trying to say, that's why, I was giving that example. The cow dung is pure, although stool is impure. Similarly, the bone of an animal. For that matter, any bone you touch, it is impure. It is meat. But we use this chamara. It has the bone of the animal, and the chamara hair is actually one of the animal's hair. It is actually yak's tail it is. We're using that in the altar. So the conch, it's also bone of an animal. But it is impure, but it's considered pure. Use it in deity worship, in blowing before every arati, every auspicious occasion, dispels, drives away all inauspiciousness. So, just one example to give. It looks like apparent contradiction, but actually there is no contradictions. Our material intelligence might not have been developed to understand these things. Now they have proved, science has proved that how cow dung is antiseptic. It's very pure. Very pure. Very antiseptic. But not every stool of an animal or a living entity is pure. But cow dung is pure, antiseptic. So that is why we require patience. On the Shastra, we should have absolute faith. On the Shastra. Because Shastra is apaurusheya. That which is spoken by the Supreme Lord Himself, who is all perfect, free from all defects, including cheating tendencies. So Lord, whatever is mentioned in the scriptures, spoken by the Lord, are not speculative information or an imagination or the result of a research work which is yet to be endorsed and proved. None of these things. Free from all human defects. Therefore, we accept them as absolute statements. Science may have to go furthermore to be able to reconcile these apparent material contradictions. Material contradictions. For the material intellect, material logic, it may resemble a contradiction, but actually it may not. Even materially you will reconcile as you advance in science and research. But that we don't know when you will advance and you will figure out. As of now, only cow dung you have figured out. Still you have yet to figure out how the yak tail is pure, how the conch shell is pure, how rice can become blood and semen. Long way to go. Maybe it will take millions and billions of years. You will figure out one day, because after all it is material process. Nothing spiritual and transcendental there. It is material process. But achintya shakti, not conceivable by your human brain. I am only saying maybe, not sure we will come up or not. Even if we come up, already it is being done. You only discovered it. So what is the greatness there? Greatness is of the Lord. So, the point is, we should not see contradictions in Shastra. We should not doubt the words of Shastra, which is apaurusheya. So when the Shastra says the Lord is present fully, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti, He is fully present in His holy name. And we should take complete shelter of the holy name when in danger. And it will work. And one should have faith before conviction. He is a good student in spiritual life. If somebody says, I'll put my faith after I'm convinced, he is also a good student, but he is a second grade student, not first grade student. That means he has not understood one principle called absolute faith. On the words of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. Because they are infallible, basically. What we should know is they are infallible. That means there can be no mistakes in their words. This is very nicely discussed in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the absolute nature of the statements in Shastra. And we take the words of Shastra verbatim, as they are, without doubting. Similarly, the words of spiritual master and Krishna, as they are, without doubting. First of all, we accept and then we practice. Then, we may analyze for the sake of understanding better. But, whether we understand or not, still we should apply and follow. Very important spiritual principle for quick advancement. For quick advancement. So here we see that Putana, her heart was very fierce and cruel, but she looked like a very affectionate mother. So this is very dangerous position. So we have to be very careful. In the name of spiritual life, we may be misled like this many so-called pseudo-gurus in our life in this world. Actually, Putana also represents hypocrisy. What she is not known. She is presenting herself as a very affectionate mother, but actually she wants to kill Krishna. This is called hypocritical nature. So in spiritual life, this is very much discouraged. The Prabhupada says, one must be very honest in his dealings. One must be very honest in his dealings. Otherwise, it goes very bad in spiritual life or for a sadhaka. One has to be very honest and straightforward in his dealings. Straightforward. That means one must be simple-minded. One must be simple-minded, not very complicated or very complex in his thinking. It's very simple-minded. One place like Prabhupada said, for those who are simple-minded, Krishna consciousness is very simple. Those who are complex-minded, complicated mind they have got, think so many things. What about this? What about that? How about this? Why not like this? Why not like that? And churn 101 things. Spiritual life is very difficult for them. Suppose what do you mean simple-minded? Suppose if I say, suppose somebody comes, please chant Hare Krishna, is a Yuga Dharma. Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally recommended and advised us. Acharyas have advised us, please chant, it's very good for you, Yuga Dharma. Oh yes, Swamiji, I will chant. He'll immediately take up. Simple-minded person. Some people you see, how difficult for them to take up chanting. Because they have 101 things in their head running, spinning. Oh, why is he giving me this mantra? Why only this mantra? But does he think that I am not a devotee, therefore he is giving me this mantra? Does he not know I am also a devotee only? And I am chanting some mantra? Why are you telling I should chant? You mean to say I am not chanting anything? See what all you can think. You mean to say only the mantra which you gave is important? That means whatever I am chanting, that means indirectly you are saying everything is waste, what I have done so far? And you can go on. Complicated mind. So such people will never chant Hare Krishna. Seriously, I am telling. So there could be one or more of these possibilities. Otherwise, I am saying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling why you are not chanting. Something is stopping him, inhibiting him. Complex-minded people. Simple-minded person means chant Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. So how should I chant, Prabhu? So get one Japamala and then show him. Oh, yes, Prabhu. Immediately he will do. Then next you say chant 16 rounds because Prabhupada said. Oh, Prabhupada said, is it? I should chant 16 rounds? Okay, chant 16 rounds. That's all. Why you tell? There's a big science behind Nama. The whole Bhagavatam, so many places describe the glories of the holy name. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written Nama Chintamani, one book only on that. That is all there. If you want to get into the depth of it. But simple-minded person means, no. Acharyas have told. Krishna has told. Yagnanam japa yagnosmi. In Kali Yuga, yagna means japa. So I should do this. Now, over, finished. Why Krishna told this? Why you have to bother? That Krishna has already thought and he has told, no? Now why you are thinking above Krishna's thinking? Krishna has already thought, no? You are thinking above Krishna's thinking. Acharya has already thought, you are thinking above Acharya's thinking. Why 16 round? Why not 18? Why not 24? Why you are thinking above the Acharya? Sometimes among the devotees also always this argument comes up. Why 16 Prabhu? Why Prabhupada fixed 16? Why 16? Why 16? Hell with that discussion. Why you are thinking why 16? Why not 20? Are you Acharya? You are thinking above the Acharya. You use your thinking on what the Acharya said. Our thinking must be used, our energy must be used in how to execute 16 round chanting. You see, this is the trap of Maya. What is that? You are thinking why 16? Why not 14? And after you have wasted in that, 4 rounds you could have finished by that time. Sometimes I am not saying half an hour. Whole life devotees are dodged by Maya in this way. Whole life they are unconvinced. Still that figure is not clear. Why 16? Why not 18? They go into mathematics and statistics. Seriously, I am telling, even now, actually mathematical figure, why it is, there is no explanation for that. Prabhupada has given a philosophical explanation. A realistic, practical explanation Prabhupada has given. Because my Guru Maharaj told 64 rounds of chanting Hare Krishna mantra, but when I gave the first initiation in 1967 Janmashtami, I told my disciples, now I am initiating you as my disciple, connecting you to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. You must all chant 64 rounds. Actually, they fell unconscious. In the initiation day, they fell down. I am just joking. So they could not take a breath. Like that it became for them. The Prabhupada understood, okay, it is like you are telling a small, like this, we have a small boy sitting here. What are you studying? Which class? Huh? You go 9th standard. Suppose you tell him lift 250 kg. Holy lift 250 kg. He's a world champion or what? He has to really do hard work for 15 years to really build up his muscles. Now we tell him lift 250 kg. How can he lift? So Prabhupada understood, okay, these are fallen souls of Kali Yuga. 64 rounds is nothing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Kirtaniya Sadahari. No, 64 rounds is just 8 hours max. It takes 8 hours. 24 hours till you have 2/3 of the time. What are you going to do? 2/3 of the time, simply sense gratification. The rest 2/3 of the day. At least 1/3 you do spiritual activity. For them, that itself becomes so difficult. Anyway, Prabhupada said, when the devotees got alarmed for what? There was no fire breakout and all. Alarm is because 64 rounds. That's the shock. Then Prabhupada said, but my Guru Maharaj said, if somebody can't chant 64 rounds Hare Krishna, he is not even a human being, he is an animal. He is a fallen soul. He is a fallen soul. He is unfit for spiritual life. Somebody can't chant 64 rounds. Their face became very small. Oh, Prabhupada, we are not fit for becoming your disciple. Prabhupada said, no. Okay, don't worry. So let's make it 32 rounds. So, my God, 32 rounds? Their eyes became wide and big. 32 rounds, you mean? Prabhupada, 4 to 5 hours it will take. Oh my God, you're so difficult. Then Prabhupada said, okay, 16 rounds. Oh, what is this 16 round? Prabhupada, because they are never used to taking any God's name, even once in a day. Even Christ, even one time, even as Christians I'm saying, they wouldn't have taken in their life probably. Or Krishna. And you say 16 rounds become too much. Prabhupada said, below this, there is no compromise. Then you don't take Diksha. You don't become my disciple. Forget it. You come as a visitor, well-wisher. Let's be good friends. That's all he said. Oh, then no. Because they had developed by that time so much love for Prabhupada, they could not say no. They could not be away from Prabhupada. So with that bond of love, Prabhupada said, then he said, putting my foot down, 16 is the minimum, nothing less than that. Finally they agreed, yes, Prabhupada. Somehow they managed. So it was not a statistical figure or logical figure. Prabhupada has fixed it based on practicality, because the Westerners cannot chant 64 rounds and forget chanting full day. For 61 rounds only they said, Prabhupada, that means we will chant Prabhupada, but don't expect we will do any service. Full day we will chant only. No other service we can do. This is what is in their mind. They are thinking it is impossible to do anything else other than 64 round chanting. So anyway, so we should not get into analyzing the Acharya and Krishna. But we have to analyze the pseudo guru or our heart. Instead of using our strength and our energy in analyzing our anarthas, and use our thinking energy, intellectual energy in analyzing my anarthas or anarthas in others. Of course, anarthas in others is only to safeguard myself. Only to safeguard myself. And distance myself from people who have anarthas or who are putting up a pseudo show. So for that sake. So we should know how to utilize our energies properly, constructively. Otherwise we'll be drained out. Because energy is there, it gets consumed, isn't it? Then again you have to produce the energy. So if you are moving with wrong persons or pseudo gurus or pseudo character persons, those who are not honest in their dealings, those who are not straightforward, and all these kind of hypocritic people, then our Krishna consciousness will get sucked off. Our energy will get drained off. So we also should know how to distance ourselves. Who discourage Krishna consciousness, who drain out our Krishna consciousness, we don't associate with them. Therefore, Rupa Goswami has given two principles. I'll close here. That's why if you see, two places Rupa Goswami has said, Sangatyagat is one, then Janasanga. He has recommended what things we should do to increase our Krishna consciousness, what things we should do to safeguard our Krishna consciousness. Both places he has said, what is favorable, what is unfavorable in Krishna consciousness, for both the sides, he has given six principles, of which one common principle is there, which is avoid the association of non-devotees. Those are not devotees. It's very unconstructive for our development of spiritual life. And especially those who are hypocritic, like Putana. Inside one thing, but externally talking very nicely, speaking very nicely. Forget building friendship, building motherly feelings, but the intention is to kill. It can even go to that degree. We also see that in this world today. Similarly, Madhurya, you see, build loving relation and ditch him and kill him also, murder him also. So all these things happen. We are seeing that also even in normal dealings. So anyway, as far as we are concerned, so we have to be alert in not being carried away by external show off of the persons, but be very sharp in knowing their intent and purpose. That is why this association is extremely infectious, in the sense, if you associate wrongly, you will imbibe all those qualities. So we have to be careful in associating only with like-minded people. As far as devotees are concerned, we have to associate or take association only those who are interested in Krishna and Krishna consciousness. And what do you mean by association? Association means to take their words seriously. That is called association. Physically being there is no issue. You may not avoid being physically with somebody. That is okay. You may even have to work with somebody. That is also okay. But taking association primarily means taking their words seriously to your heart. or being inspired by their qualities, that is also association. Don't get inspired by their qualities, external qualities, what they are presenting. Because inside what is their quality, their nature, that we have to see. Based on that, we should take association. Stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.